Do I have to go online to do this? Matchmaking, story mode. Um, okay, not matchmaking. Maybe I do story mode. Continue. Loading. I'll see if I can toss an invite from inside the game.
Yeah, I don't remember how we did this at all.
Okay. Maybe I can invite through Steam? Yeah, invite to game. There you go. That's it. Now it actually plays like real well. Ooh. Oops, I didn't mean to throw my sword.
No, crap, I forgot.
What?
Basically, everything is temporary.
Hmm?
Weapons and stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh, they break. Yeah. How the hell did I pick this up? I accidentally threw my sword. Now I don't know how to pick it up. Oh shit. He just popped out of nowhere. Are you able to pick that up? I dropped that sword. Maybe because this thing is too close. Nope. Can't seem to do anything with this steamroller thing. It's kind of weird. I'm not seeing any prompts or nothing.
Eat me! Eat it, freak!
Okay. Yeah, it's been so long that I don't remember the controls. Okay, B, I guess. It's a pickup. Oh shit. What you doing with that? What you doing with that?
You're asking for trouble!
Oh my god!
There you go. I heard you like double, like an echo. Maybe the in-game chat's on too?
Ah, it sounds like it.
Yep. Let's see. Options, audio. Nope. You would think it'd be audio, right? Nope. Visual? No. Controls? No. Keyboard bindings? No. Control? No. Right, I'm not sure where the hell this is. Oh, there you go. This says mute voice over IP. Like literally.
Oh.
Like duh. Alright. Let's go explore and get into some shit. Fucking zombies everywhere. Phone call.
Whoa, peaced out monk in the Zen gardens in Ingleton. Looks kind of lonely, man.
Is that you shooting? Oh yeah, it is.
I'm not the one you want! I ain't sorry about that.
Okay, so Infinity War.
Everyone
Infinity.
dies at the end.
Okay, well. All right, guys. That's the end of the stream.
Who made this?
Let's see. I gotta lower the volume on this thing because it's like super loud. Audio. Speech volume, I think. Yeah. There you go. That might help. Oh, so overall, I think we can both say that fucking game, the fucking movie is really great, right?
To say the least.
To say the least. Yeah. Yep. I think like much like the Red Letter Media dudes, it's just like what is that? They said like subverted expectations in a lot of ways.
Well,
That's that what they said? I think that's what they said.
yeah, I think that's the words they use. But I mean, simply put, they delivered anything you would wanted, and it was a total surprise.
Mm-hmm. Like a complete and utter surprise because I didn't see any of that. Well, some of it we kind of talked about, and some of it we kind of guessed, but a lot of it was like they would. Oh, but they would never go that far. And sure they did.
Really sorry.
How are we supposed to go? Oh, right here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I didn't realize it was an actual direction we're supposed to go. I was just shooting things for the sake of shooting things. And you're shopping carting them.
Well, yeah.
Like I would say, like right from the beginning of that movie, like it starts off like in space. You see the ships, right? Or you see Thanos' ship, and then you see Thor's ship and everything else. And it pretty much picks up right at the end of or rather the after credit scene, I guess, for Ragnarok.
Hold on a second. I got
Oh,
some audio, something or other.
oh okay.
Okay. Hopefully that helps. Everyone dies at the end.
More or less, sorta. Like, so it like picks up right at the beginning, right? Right at the end of Ragnarok. I could have sworn we fought this
Essentially,
dude. He
Yeah,
looks
this
familiar.
is really familiar.
Yeah. So, okay, Ragnarok, and you see like the ships, and you see like right off the bat, like you see Thanos' much larger ship, like just taking like shots right at the Thor's ship, and it cuts into the ship, and you see pretty much everybody's like been like knocked on their ass, and you know everything else, and it's almost like it's weird how there was no instance where they had even the slightest chance to do anything about like
So I wanna take a step back there.
mhm.
Do we need these?
Oh goddamn.
Okay, I want to take a step back there. This is like, okay, for the most part, the movies have been easy to get into.
Mhm.
Like, no matter which movie you picked up, you could pick it up and go. And
Mhm.
what the fuck?
Yeah, he's like teleporting all over the place. Oh goddamn. Hey, there's like two of them.
I don't. No, that's me. Well, I don't see anything. He's invisible.
Ah, is one of them standing right here?
Yeah, there's nothing here.
Ow, that's weird. You're not attacking them right now?
Well, I'm attacking what I see. There's like an icon over his head.
Oh,
Like, there's nothing there.
it's all bugged out because it shows you attacking one and I'm attacking one. It's about to kill me.
Yeah, I don't see you attacking anything. You just running around.
Oh, right now I'm not attacking anything.
And my game just totally bugged out.
That's a interesting way to
I
start.
partially fell through the ground, and now I'm back up.
Yeah, it looks like you're back up because. Oh, it doesn't seem like. Oh, what the hell? I'm trying to like pick up stuff and I can't freaking pick up stuff. I'm not sure if I'm doing something wrong or I don't have my buttons configured right or what the heck. Because I'm almost dead.
Well, everything is borked for me.
Yeah. Ooh.
There's a shotgun here.
Yeah, I can't even pick up anything. Oh, okay. Well, let me. Oh my god.
And his HP keeps going like from nothing to full. Now it's empty. Now it's full.
Well, that did something.
Anyway, what I was saying is that all the other movies you could easily get into, no matter which movie, where it was, whatever. I want to say this is the first one that had like a barrier to entry to some degree. There was no real big intro. It just kind of picked up and went.
Yeah, like, a lot of times you don't necessarily have to have watched anything prior. You can pick it up as a single experience almost, I
Yeah,
guess.
each one was pretty much that way. I mean, I really can't think of a particular interest that was, put to the side and really had some sort of previous, I don't know, engagement that was required. But this, you kind of had to be there the whole 10 years in order to understand all the little bits and pieces in this one.
Oh yeah. Oh, he just beheaded himself.
Nah, I'm not seeing anything.
Oh.
I just see a Naginata.
Oh. Oh, you didn't see the
character
cutscene?
model, no nothing.
It's weird.
Yeah, I'm in the cutscene, but there's like, oh, there's a head now all of a sudden.
So weird. Yeah, yeah. I mean, obviously, you come into this movie and you hadn't watched, like, even at least Ragnarok. You'd be kind of lost. What the hell? How is he alive again? He literally
I
just.
don't see anybody.
Yeah, it's completely bugged out.
There's a key here?
Yeah. Oh, and I think he just killed me. Now he looks like he's just kicking your ass now. Like literally, he just
Get food to revive partner.
You gotta feed me.
Can I feed you this guy's head?
So, I guess what's really interesting is that right off the bat, considering the team up, although I don't know, maybe I didn't see it, or maybe they didn't show it, or whatever the version I saw wasn't complete, and maybe I missed a scene, but we don't clearly see what happens to all the Asgardians. Specifically, we don't see what happened to Valkyrie. We see what happens to Heimdall and Thor and Loki and Hulk, but I didn't see Valkyrie at all.
That's true, but that may not mean anything one way or the other.
Yeah, maybe the blast knocked some of them out of the. It looks like you're trying to kill me. It's extra.
I'm trying to feed you
Okay.
with a shotgun.
Okay. So that's something that I didn't even think about until just now. It's like we don't see what happened to Valkyrie, and I'm kind of curious: are they all dead? Like were all the Asgardians killed, or was only half of them killed? And if that's the case, where did the rest of them go?
We only see the direct bits right now.
Mm-hmm.
We only see what was directly affected.
Mm-hmm.
Chances are, just about everybody's gone though.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Respawned.
All right, as I find some orange juice for you.
Got company.
I came back with no weapons though. And he keeps like, oh my god. Yeah, and what was really, really fun. Well, fun in a way. Was seeing how they literally had no shot at all to stand up to Thanos' forces at that point. Like they made it very apparent right from the beginning that these fuckers are not fucking around. And they're like,
Yeah, I mean, kind of. I mean, I don't know. I still stand by the Black Guard being weakest.
oh yeah. I mean, we see them posturing, but we aside from, I think we only see Ebony Maw and no, we see them all, right? Yeah, we see them all, right there in that scene.
Yeah, yeah.
There he's down.
Yeah, I don't see him at all.
What the hell?
Now I see the icon sitting on top of this pillar, but that's it.
He's about to die again. Maybe he doesn't kill me. Yeah, he's down again. Now he's running something? So weird. Maybe he's gonna run back to where he commits seppuku. He's just running around like a maniac at the moment.
This
Yeah, let's get out of here. It's just weird.
yeah, this is Vort.
Let me grab this juice here. Okay. Sucks I don't got no more weapons at this point, but well. I got a lead pipe though. That'll have to do. But I guess maybe not necessarily that they were like overpowered by the guard, but rather the initial attack on the ship disables them and knocks them mostly out. And then the only chance they had was like more or less where Loki kind of lures them into a sense of like to let their guard down, and then all of a sudden Hulk shows up. And I thought that was like one of the like exactly what the Red Letter Media dude said, like essentially like how what was it Mike even mentions that that's one of the things that he was looking forward to was seeing like Thanos fight the Hulk essentially, and they
Yeah,
do
and
it.
they start right off with it.
And it's like, wow, okay.
it.
Yeah. And it's cool because they feed you right from the beginning something interesting that you probably even may have some interest in seeing. And it's just like saying like,
But see, not
This is
only do they give that right off, but the trailers bait a whole other, I guess, possible storyline.
yeah, because I think,
The trailers show Hulk at the big battle at the end.
yep, yeah, that's completely right.
Spoilers. Dead.
He did. And yeah, that was interesting because, huh? Chapter 0. Yeah, this is so weird right now. Yeah, that part is interesting because you also it's sort of like how what they did with Ragnarok, where you never once see Thor without his eye, and then all of a sudden you see those parts again, and he's missing his eye.
Ah, yeah.
So they've already kind of made it a thing that they intentionally will mislead everybody, like. Anyway, so okay, yeah, the whole fight between Thanos and Hulk. I thought like it was kind of great, like how they kind of telegraphed that he jumps out of nowhere. He gets the jump on Thanos, but yet Thanos turns the tables on him so fucking quick. Like,
Well, I mean, the thing is, which one of them starts to get like panicked? I know
oh,
one of the
of
Black
the
Order gets panicked.
oh
I think it's Cole.
yeah, Cole Obsidian. He's the one that's like tries to step forward to like defend Thanos, but like Ebony
Yeah.
Maw's like, no, let him have his.
Yeah, Ma's like, just let him have some fun.
Yeah, and like you don't know exactly right away what he mean. Like, and then all of a sudden you see like Thanos is like more or less just pounding the shit out of him.
Oh yeah.
Not even a fair match. Like he is so leagues out of like way above his league, like so much so. Like I didn't think the power dispersion. I mean, difference would have been that severe, but it was like severe. But
And this is the weakest Thanos is in the entire movie.
yeah, because he only has the one gem in there at that point, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's I think the power gem. I mean, that kind of maybe explains why he's so strong. But even then, it's like more than just that combined two vehicles. Okay.
Hold hard. We did this mission before as well.
Yeah, I think some of this is just like fucking borked. So yeah, it's most yeah. Well, it is accurate. That is the weakest he is the whole movie. He just completely overpowers the Hulk, and not even in the sense where like the Hulk even has a chance. He just like gets laid out so quick and so easily. Like he, aside from
There was never any chance there.
nope. Well,
Looks like I am driving.
no, it looks like I'm driving.
That's a hell of a machine, kiddo. Let's get to that quarantine station quick.
Okay. So what's interesting too is that aside from the severe difference in their power strength, I guess, is that you clearly see Thanos is not just like pure brute strength. There's like a method to what he's doing. Like he systematically takes him out, like a throat punch here, and like he just like he isn't just like an extremely strong dude. He knows what he's doing. He tears him apart.
Well, that could be said for like every bit of the movie, though.
Oh yeah. I just think it was great. Like it could have just been like one of those things where they just slug it out. He said no. It was not even close to that. It was just like him, taking them to pieces, like just not fucking around. Like he disabled them with in the most efficient manner possible. And what was fun about it too was at the end where he just picks him up and slams him down on the ground, like not even like throws him across the room. He just slams him right into the ground, and that's it. He's done. And of course, that transitions into Loki again, trying to like supposedly lure him into another. It's like right after that, Loki handing over the Tesseract, right?
Mm-hmm.
But kind of out of character. Well, I don't know. Maybe not really out of character at that point. Oh yeah, we saved these people the last time, right?
Yeah, this is all stuff we've done.
Yeah. Like almost out of character, he tries to like do the heroic thing and like try to take out Thanos on his own. Like I don't know what he's trying to do there. Like
Well, yeah, that. What the fuck?
because I mean, even if you were to successfully hurt Thanos, wouldn't the rest of the Order just take him out essentially?
Yeah.
So I mean,
I think it goes to what was the end game?
yeah, we don't know exactly what his.
How many times has Loki died?
Yeah, true. At least twice. Twice, right?
At least.
Yeah. when he falls off the Rainbow Bridge. Um, then no, actually, the Rainbow Bridge, um, Dark World, and what else? I think that's pretty much it. I think so. At least twice that we know that he came back from. So who knows? I mean, it definitely could be another fake out. Because I don't think it's unreasonable to say that he's definitely a fan favorite. So it'd be kind of strange for them to actually kill him off straight, like outright, you know?
Yeah.
Holy shitball!
Oh crap! Hit the wrong button.
So much for having things under
Oh crap!
I don't know. Something doesn't feel right about this.
Have you gone blind?
Oh, you got a car. Let's go. Um, and yeah, and then the fact that I really don't know if that was that if the way he kills. Oh,
Here on foot.
I don't know if the way he takes out Loki is more brutal than what he does to Vision later on, but it definitely wasn't like an easy kill. Like I think he would have suffered from that, right?
It was definitely slow.
Yeah. Like squeezing the breath out of him essentially, and just because it didn't sound like he snapped his neck. He just literally like, choked him to death, right?
It kind of seemed that way, yeah.
Yeah. And to have that done in front of Thor, which was kind of interesting because
Well, the whole scene was just taunting Thor.
and it's just interesting because I would have thought that um, that he would have been able to
This is not
do more than he was able to do. I mean, Thor. Like, you would have thought he would have been able to put up more of a fight, especially with his newfound ability to control, to control his abilities without the hammer. But even then, I guess it
Yeah,
was
he
not
didn't
enough.
do anything.
Nope. I mean, I want to say he struggled a little bit, maybe. That's about it, right?
Really.
And he was like pretty much knocked out already, wasn't he? Like from the blast.
Yeah. And then he was just pinned down and he watched
Yeah.
until Thanos was done.
Yep. Oh, we definitely done this fight. I remember this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of weird. It's like it's forcing us to play catch up for some reason. And then where did that transition to? Back to at that point, like you see Heimdall, like send the Hulk, like to Earth with his. I didn't see him actually use his sword though, right? Like his sword was somewhere.
I'm not sure what he used to do that.
I only remember hearing him say something about like dark energy or something like that, and that's all I could remember hearing specifically. But that's all I can really remember. Oh shit! That's all I can really remember about that. And of course, you see him, Thanos also take out fucking Heimdall, which kind of sucks. 'Cause he's one of the more interesting characters. He just skewers him with Corvus's glaive. You gonna say something?
I was gonna say he was an interesting character.
Yeah, he was.
And see, I think that's if we're gonna talk about permanence of anything that happened, I think these are the permanent ones.
Yeah, more than likely. If Loki's dead, he's probably permanently dead at that point. Oh, that seems a lot easier to do. Just run him over with the car.
Obviously, the big question is if there's Loki, right?
Yeah.
Heimdall,
Because who knows what amount of time travel they're gonna use or Infinity Gauntlet to fix all this stuff. In a way,
Well,
I would prefer them
in
that
the
they actually leave
original,
them.
they were able to create a 24-hour window, I think.
What happened here? My screen
Uh,
went to black.
yeah, same. Okay, I'm in a cutscene.
Yeah, me too.
But looking at now the pictures that you linked, I know I saw those before. Those are old,
Mhm.
and everyone thought those were this movie.
Mhm.
So taking that into account, these were filmed at the same time that this movie was.
Mhm.
They're part of something. Uh, I don't think it was something cut. I mean, it's possible, I guess,
Or at least like
considering both Hawkeye and Ant-Man were in the.
in the pictures, at least. Ant-Man was
Well, I
on.
mean, if anything else, they were in the advertising.
Yeah.
They were seen, everywhere.
Yep. And more
But
surprisingly
for
is that
whatever reason, they're
yeah,
not there at all.
which I mean maybe leads some. I mean maybe add some legitimacy, whatever that word is, to the theory that Hish was having about maybe Ant-Man and what maybe Ant-Man somehow is part of the solution for the
I
time
doubt
travel
it.
stuff. I mean, it's kind of weird, yeah, I know, but I mean,
No,
has
I,
it?
I think he's going to be useful,
Mhm.
but I don't think he's at the core.
Oh well, no, I think he's just gonna be maybe at most like the gateway to or something like that. Because I mean,
Well,
you're pointing out that weird thing that they had on their hands, right?
yeah.
So what if that's just something that they need to be able to? Oh, he's YB. So it's like, man, why is the fucking volume so high? Jesus, I
I don't
lowered the
know. I've
volume.
lowered it twice.
Yeah, at this point I'm just gonna turn off all the fucking audio because I can barely hear what the fuck we're talking about. Um, so I don't know. Maybe he won't be the like you said the main solution, but maybe he'll be the way to access the ability to get to where they have to go or something like that. Because I mean, okay, I think it would really I guess it depends. Are they able to get their hands on the Infinity? I mean, or rather on the Gauntlet, or at least the Time Gem away from Thanos, or wherever Thanos might have dropped it, or whatever the fuck,
Not a chance.
right?
I think.
It has to be something else, right? Some
I
kind of
think what
solution.
we're going into is going to be likely set in motion from Ms. Marvel's movie coming up.
Hmm.
I think Fury sent him some kind of message that I guess shit, almost got to him. That to a degree they know something is coming. Now,
Mm,
to what degree, I don't know, but
yeah, yeah, because there has to be some way to either bring her forward in time, or at least make it so that she can be present. I don't know at the initial at the end of of fuck Dick is dying. Okay. um, I guess it's not like necessarily for to to continue the fight where they are, but maybe go back to where they lost with Captain Marvel in
well,
tow.
I think it's going to be they're going to replay the events with knowing how things play out.
Hmm. So it's either that or they pick up where they left off after they've picked up, or like I don't know, for lack of a better term, picked up Captain Marvel. But I don't know. There's so many things that they require too many things to actually get it done. I think, and things that they don't
I
have.
think in the short term, I think Vision is the key.
Oh, his copy. His copy.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, he was copied, and his body didn't ash.
Yeah, that is true. So maybe they use the body to reinsert something that Shuri is able to make somehow like her own version of the Mind Stone or something like that, or
Well,
whatever
see,
that.
that's what I don't get. What is going to hold it?
Hmm.
What did they or what did she copy that to?
Yeah, because it has to be something to hold his essence, basically, right?
Yes.
I don't know. Well, anyway, we were after Heimdall's death, Loki's death. We assume most of the Asgardians. Um, Thor kind of just has to be forced to watch this, essentially. And then what we cut to Earth, I guess.
Pretty much.
Oh, I just saw a
That
car
was
flying.
different.
Yeah, yeah. You see them cut to Earth, and more or less pick up where what Iron Man is hanging out with Pepper Potts, whatever. And we
We
already
can
thought.
skip this scene.
Yeah, yeah.
Stupid.
Basically, it's just kind of dumb in general. It just was more
And
irritating than anything
anything
else.
that just doesn't fit. It's this particular scene here. I
Mhm.
just.
Yeah, it's like I don't even know, like trying to make to give Iron Man some normalcy, I guess, but he's anything but normal, you know?
I think that's part of the failing of the Iron Man movies in general. Is they always focused on the wrong aspects,
Hmm.
and they're still doing it.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it's fine. Oh, shit. It's fine that you want to, like, oh, fuck. Game over. Son of a bitch. Mm, mm. Like, it's fine that they want to, like, flesh out his character, but they probably could have done it in different, more interesting ways over the course of the three movies that they dedicated to him. They just didn't do enough to give him an interesting, well, focus on more of his interesting aspects of his character. And yeah, like you said, this is the end product of that failing essentially. Like somehow the whole Pepper Potts thing, is supposed to be important to him, but
But it's not.
no, the dynamic is wrong. The way the way they played it, like
Well, there's no lasting impact.
hmm and then jumping from that to that call we were talking about when Iron Man is in the fucking Ebony Maw ship. It just like seems drama for the sake of drama.
Uh, I guess. I mean, these are really the only weak points I would say. That
Mhm.
and I also kind of feel like Cap himself doesn't play a huge part.
Not enough of a part, basically.
Yeah, not enough of a part. I think
Mhm.
that's the proper way to word it.
Mhm. Because the parts he was in were pretty good. I mean, I don't. We won't skip ahead right at this point, but we'll touch back on the Cap and, well, not the Cap problem, but rather the problem that presents itself by including, not including, but rather the interactions that the Order has with Cap and his group. We'll get to that. So anyway, Hulk crashes into the Sanctorum, which is kind of fun. Like, it's obviously that whole lifted scene from, it was the Silver Surfer originally. That was supposed to be the
I
one
think
falling
so.
into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty cool. Um, shit.
Ow.
Um, so that scene, that works for what it is. There we go. Oh. For effect, and then obviously them interrupting that kind of wasted time with Iron Man and Pepper Potts, and that's when it's obviously that picks up again after he joins Strange in the Santorum with Banner and Wong. I think that was kind of interesting and fun to watch. Like just their interaction, the way they're kind of both insufferable, kind of egotistical people.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think that's a good way
that's
of putting
yeah,
it.
it's really really fun to watch them interact. I mean, obviously, Strange is more of the adult, but he still doesn't like to to deal with somebody like him, like Iron Man, like who is basically very similar to him essentially.
Okay. Kind of just talking on Strange for a second.
Mm.
He is clearly grown immensely.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like we have the beginning of Doctor Strange in the movie where we see the kind of person he was, and although you see him change a bit during the movie, we don't really have that much time with him at the end of his journey to figure out
Yeah.
what he turns out to be. And it's interesting to see that essentially he is more or less the grown up of the group essentially. At least I feel like, and I've seen
To a
this.
certain degree, yeah.
I've seen this mentioned somewhere. I can't recall where, but they also refer to him as like the grown up of the crew, even though they're all grown ups obviously. But when it comes to like
Well,
for the most part, not everybody. What happened here? Back screen, loading. Oh, I guess this is death. I guess.
I don't know. This is bugged the fuck out.
Mm-hmm. Extremely. So, yeah, the whole interaction in the Sanctorum was good. Strange playing the part he did was actually pretty cool. I felt that Iron Man's like general reaction to the new aspect that he's probably never experienced at all, which is the magical stuff, is pretty entertaining. Clearly, he's not really sure
Having
what
to
to think.
outside the box.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. He understands everything with it through his technology and his perspective.
And this
Then
doesn't fit.
this doesn't fit at all. You're talking about fucking gems that control aspects of the fucking universe. That's beyond the normal, even for Iron Man. But I liked his interaction very well to it, like the way he reacted to being told, "Hey, these things, these little stones, they literally are part of what created the universe and are control aspects of the universe." And he takes it as well as anybody would, I guess. The only thing that kind of seemed confusing to me, though, was that when Banner is explaining to Iron Man that it's Thanos and he does this, how does he even know that?
I would guess from his time in that arena place. I can't think of the name offhand.
Oh, yeah, the Junk World.
Yeah, that while he was there, I'm sure he picked up some stories.
Mm-hmm. You see, right here. Do you see this? The chapter 0, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3.
Yeah.
Well, chapter 3 is unlocked. I wonder if there's a way to skip to that because that's where we are. I think maybe that's why it's all weird right now.
Well, this isn't the beginning of the game though, so at least not that I remember.
No, it wasn't like the very beginning, but this lady we pick up at the beginning. Okay, hold on. Let me see if there's a way to. Oh, yeah, chapter select. Oh, duh, right here. Okay, I'll move us forward to where we were. Um, that was the only thing that kind of felt a little weird about that moment. It was like, how does he know so much about Thanos? Was he listening to Ebony Maw this whole time when he was before he jumped out and attacked Thanos or something, or what? I don't know. But then, obviously, after that, you start hearing, the whole thing where they actually start hearing the ship out through the hole, and the whole little comment about Iron Man asking Strange, is he moving his hair? He said, not at the moment. So in other words, he does it. Like at some point, he that's how he passes his time. So I thought that was pretty
Yeah,
funny.
suppose so.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this, but it's interesting how the humor here is better used than than the constant humor drops in other movies like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Well, the only problem with Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and
Mhm.
it's different from 1. I think 1 is
Mhm.
absolutely stellar.
Oh yeah.
But in 2, I think they had a pacing problem.
Hmm.
And I think they were just trying to do too much.
Mm.
It felt overloaded. And I don't know, maybe Gunn just got done watching the Star Wars and like, hey, I can do that, and then he couldn't.
Yeah, in general, yeah, it was like. I mean, I still really like that movie. I mean, part two, I definitely consider it as one of my favorite movies. But yeah,
No, well, I'm not saying it's terrible. I'm weighing these against the other Marvel movies.
Oh, well,
This
yeah.
is the only thing that we can even compare it to.
yeah, that's true.
A 10-year. How many movies are we in?
Fuck, I
20,
don't know.
17, 18, 19, 20, something in that range.
Let me see. 3 Iron Man movies, 3 Thor movies, 3 Captain America movies. Mm, well, now, well, prior to Infinity War, 2 Avengers movies, um,
Bro, got some old lady
an Ant-Man movie,
in those crack
a Doctor
houses.
Strange movie, a
Check
Black
it.
Panther movie. Am I missing something?
Did you count Thor? That's 3 movies.
I counted Thor as 3 movies.
I can do this.
Oh, Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Spider-Man.
That's
Fuck,
what.
a long way to go.
Oh yeah. I've been counting them off, but I didn't actually start counting them all together. I started naming them by that. I wasn't counting them, the movies. I mean, um, but yeah, somewhere like around 15, maybe 16 movies like that. I mean, just the Thor, Captain America, Iron Man movies are what 9 movies,
Mm-hmm.
and then the Avenger movies are 2, prior to Infinity War. Ant Man, so that's what 13 or 12.
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange 13, Spider-Man 14.
We're not gonna be able to walk through this.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think we need a
I
car.
think there were some. Yeah, I think there was cars on the other side of this building.
How are you running? Or are you running?
That was close.
Yeah, I felt like you were running. So yeah, at least 14, 15 movies. We're probably missing one, maybe. Oop, dead end.
Got some on your roof there.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Nick,
Got
wimpy
it.
looking kid sobbing on top of some office by the construction.
Oh my god.
Computer.
I'm for a hero. But yeah, out of all those movies, yeah, I guess that's Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is probably the closest you can compare when it comes to the human, I guess. But somehow the comedic moments in this movie are better spaced out and not so overdone, I guess.
Yeah, definitely more measured.
But yeah, I definitely did like that whole thing with the Doctor Strange moving his hair. And then, oh, although we didn't really talk about this, but it comes up right now. It's interesting how they decided to make Ebony Maw like a prophesizer, more or less. Like he's like Thanos's, I don't even know, his press agent in a way.
Kind of, yeah.
I felt that was kind of an interesting way to handle his character, like where I want to say that well, actually you really don't see any of it, but where Proxima Midnight and Corvus Glaive don't really say and do much. What in the world? Oh, fireworks. Ebony Maw gets the most development, I guess, or maybe just character moments, I guess.
Yeah,
Better way to
most
put it.
character moments. I wouldn't really call it
Development.
development.
Yeah. And I mean, you hear Cole Obsidian talking, but you don't know exactly what he's saying. He just seems to be speaking in a guttural language of his own.
Yeah, I mean, there's no impact there.
Yeah.
But
Finally, got it.
Although I did feel like the interaction, well, not interaction, but rather once the fighting kicks up between Iron Man, Strange, Wong, and Banner against those two, it's kind of interesting to note how much more powerful Iron Man is at this point because of his extremists, I guess.
I think the suit in general, it's almost like this is what we were owed a while ago with
Yeah.
where his tech should be.
Where, I mean, there were fun moments at Iron Man 3, and to some respect, his stuff was never that interesting. Beyond like what the sectional, the suit that comes in pieces essentially.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting, but I mean, compared to the comics, I don't know, he's stalled.
Hmm. Oh yeah, there was no
And this kind of caught
further.
back up to where I guess he kind of should be.
Hmm. Yeah, his tech wise, he's like whatever bleeding edge or whatever you want to call it. I always get these confused.
Yeah, this is Bleeding Edge, but there's a lot of extremists there. What
Hmm.
extremists should be.
Hmm. Hmm. But that's definitely one of those instances where. Okay, did John Favreau direct part two of Iron Man?
I don't know.
I know he did one. I don't know if he did two.
Yeah,
He didn't
yeah.
do.
I have no idea who did two
Uh,
or three.
well, three was Shane Black, I believe. It was with that director's name. And even though it had good character moments in that movie, the rest of the movie was kind of junk. Like at least they kind of made him a little more interesting. At least in that, and as far as like character wise and like him developing stuff beyond his own, beyond him relying on his tech. But even then, it's like he can't. He's not gonna be like a fucking Captain America or a Hawkeye or anything. Where he's like more, his skills are more around, you know, his his skills are specifically mostly around his what? What the hell is that? Dynamite?
Dynamite.
Oh, there you go. I'm gonna meet in a dynamite. Tennis outfit. Oh my god.
Oh, that's terrible. How about my outfit back? God damn it. There we go.
Anyway, the initial fight's actually pretty interesting because of course you see the extreme degree of how much better his armor is now, and the fact that he's able to go toe to toe against Cole Obsidian is actually pretty interesting as well. I mean, we never get a true measure of his strength, but just from his, just from the little bit that you see, he seems like extremely like durable and strong, somewhat. Because I mean, Wong does chop off his hand through using the portal. But at the same time, there was an instance, at least one instance during that fight, where it seemed like Iron Man was about to eat it, and then I think what was it, Spidey comes in? Was it Spidey or was it Wong that actually saved them?
It was Wong.
Yeah, it was
Wong's the
Wong
one
that saved them, right?
him.
Yeah. And it was literally an instance where, yeah, Cole Obsidian pretty much had him. There was no tricks left. He was pinned to the ground and about to take a pickaxe to the face. Although it was kind of interesting that to see that Spidey was actually physically able to hold back a punch from Cole Obsidian though.
There's
But I
something
guess. Oh yeah. But they've never made it clear how strong Spider-Man is in this at this point in this universe.
Well, yeah, they haven't even explained his power set.
Yeah, yeah, not really.
I mean,
There's a guy up
what's
there.
supposed to do with this guy?
Kick his ass, I'm assuming. For wasting our time.
I think we are.
Oh shit! Oh.
I didn't mean to do that.
Yep. I didn't mean to go down there. But yeah, that was surprising to see that he was essentially a physical match almost to Cole Obsidian, or at least strong enough to hold him back for a second.
Yeah, I mean, I think it goes back to what we were just saying. It's like it's hard to know exactly what he even is.
Hmm. He seems very, very strong for what he is. But then the other,
I don't know. I mean, what he is in the movie was so kind of inconsistent.
Mhm.
Talking about in Homecoming.
Oh yeah. But 5 unskilled YB perform skill move. Okay. Um, I guess the other thing that I found that was pretty interesting. Oh, god damn it. Was like when you actually see Strange and Ebony Maw going at it. Ebony Maw seems extremely capable, like more than a match to Strange.
Yeah.
Like he was extremely fucking powerful, and the only reason that he's actually taken out, well, later on in the movie is just basically some trickery, essentially, you know.
Yeah.
And I thought actually that was a pretty interesting moment too, how they actually deal with Ebony Maw. Fun and entertaining, but outright murder as well.
Kind of. Yeah. That was a bit much.
Yeah, I was like, whoa. It's like, did Spider-Man actually just like, let's space this dude, more or less?
Yeah. Exactly.
Power bomb. But yeah, the power difference between Ebony Maw and Strange was very interesting as well to look at, because we noted that yeah, he's grown, like at least his character wise, but we don't know how much more powerful he is when it comes to the sorcery.
Well, I would say a lot too on that side.
Yeah. But the whole running fight's pretty well done in general. Um, with him actually able to take Strange, and of course that also leads up to where like Iron Man more or less jets off to board Ebony's ship, tagging along with Spidey, and then the fact that he had a really cool way of delivering Spidey his Iron Spider suit, essentially. I thought that was a pretty great,
That's
great moment.
pretty major, actually.
Yeah. What are we supposed to do with this guy at this point?
We're supposed
Oh.
to make something.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. Fun. Where was I? Wait. Oh yeah, that's right. Cole Obsidian's just kind of ditched in somewhere in the Arctic, I guess. Short one arm.
Short one.
I'm not even sure how
What are
we.
we supposed to make? I mean, I'm not seeing anything offhand.
I'm not even sure how we craft actually.
We got a hold. It would be RB.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Here, I got something.
Yeah, I think maybe as long as we make anything, it'll be alright. And then from there, what, we jump to the Guardians? Oh shit! Like when we leave off with Iron Spidey being sealed up in Ebony Maw's ship, and then Iron Man's horrible phone call with Pepper Nagme Potts, basically. we jump to the Guardians at this point, right?
I think so.
Yeah. And then obviously
I've been
that's
skipping back and forth so much.
Don't be so hard on yourself. Keep working on
I'm not sure the exact order of events. At this point.
yeah. Yeah, that's how I originally watched it. Was I went back and forth from spot to spot, so it was kind of hard to remember exactly. But I mean, obviously the Guardians part was we had already seen parts of that in a lot of the leaked scenes and trailers and all that stuff. We also see a little more of the conversation they're having on the Milano, as far as like their what they're doing, why they're going to investigate the distress signal, all that stuff, which I think was kind of funny because they're still like kind of rascally, basically. I mean, they're not super altruistic, but they at the same time they're generally good guys. I don't know if that was played for humor or they were actually being serious about that.
Well, see, that's part of the thing is with them, it's kind of hard to tell anyway. We lost our family. Somebody blew it up.
I guess we're gonna have to huff it until we find another car, anyway. But yeah, that was kind of fun to watch them do their thing, essentially. Got a car? Oh, I see ya. You kind of ran me over. Oh, I got a car. Go, go, go. And then obviously that leads into Thor being reintroduced into the story. From essentially watching his brother killed, his buddy killed, a lot of his people killed. He's obviously a little upset. It's kind of cool to see their interactions. Obviously, it's pretty funny. As far as like Drax hero worshipping him, and even Gamora getting like into it as well. Peter being right away threatened by Thor, which is pretty.
Yeah, for the most part, I think Star Lord is like a little too hammy.
Yeah, but like I don't know if I could like see that as a purely negative thing because of the fact that it kind of fits his character and the era his character comes from, essentially, at least as a human.
Kind of, but what is that?
I'm not sure. That looks like a challenge or something like that. But yeah, the funny lines, Drax speed, Drax. Generally fun stuff, and of course, watching Thor being typical Thor, essentially.
He's really grown into the character.
Oh yeah, I mean, I honestly can't ask for anybody better at this point for Thor as his part. Chris Hemsworth has really like just become that role now. So I'll be glad to get more movies with him if they keep him or he decides to stay.
As far as I know, he is not out.
No, he's not. I don't think
The
it.
only ones that are out are Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr.
Yep. Which I mean, at least speculation-wise, we think those are the two that are gonna end up dying in the next movie, basically.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's safe to say.
Yeah. Die or get sent off somehow. Although, honestly, I would prefer deaths over just them being sent off to the farm, to join Clint at his farm.
Yeah, I think I think Stark's he's marked. I think whatever damage was done with that impalement, I think that's his fate.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could see them doing a couple different things with Cap.
Yeah.
They could do the whole powered down thing where he's lost the serum.
Also, like make him the old man Cap, basically.
Yeah, making him old, so he's just like the Commander Rogers type.
Like replace Fury, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be kind of cool.
And then we got probably Bucky's.
A captain run. Cap run.
Yeah, give him a proper captain.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
I
because
think
especially
he's really the
since
best fit.
yeah, plus yeah, he's the best fit. Plus, at this point, he's kind of earned, at least for the audience. Oh shit, it's
Uh-oh.
on fire. I think maybe. Oh, I think maybe. I
Fine.
think. Yeah, I just saw you fly off. Like maybe for the audience that he is the heir apparent, basically. If it ever
To a
is.
degree, it should be expected.
Yeah, yeah. I know some people will say, but Falcon became Cap. Sure, but
Yeah, for
not.
about 8 minutes.
Yeah, and not before fucking Bucky, you know. Pretty sure Bucky did it before Falcon did, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like I have no problem if they want to do something like that down the line, but I mean, Bucky is there. Bucky is the better fit essentially right now. But yeah, I mean, obviously speculation again for 4. We can definitely expect some amount of death, some amount of something, obviously, a more permanent death, I guess, than what we're gonna see here. Yes, oh
Well, I
boy,
think
there are
that's the key
deaths.
thing is figuring out what is permanent.
Hmm.
I wish there was chicks chasing me. Yeah. I got some sweet dick for 'em.
You know, it feels like a part of the map we haven't seen before. At least I don't recognize it.
Ooh, look at that car.
Yeah, it's smoking for some reason. Fuck, where did we leave off? Oh, well, the game just fucking closed for some reason. There you go. Never mind. There you go. I'm back. Uh-oh.
I don't know if we should play this game or not.
Yeah, it's really, really buggy at the moment.
Fuck.
Yeah. You want to switch some to Vermintide right quick? I mean, at least that runs, right? Because, yeah, this is almost... Oh, boy. Because this is almost painful at the moment. The audio's all borked. I can barely hear most of the things. Oh, shit. We'll have plenty of zombies to kill come State of Decay 2 anyway.
You get the fuck out of that.
Come on, that's the perfect co-op game. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, I think I was just killed. Yep. There was a bunch of firemen that like took me to pieces. There we go. Okay, so where did we leave off again? Oh, the Guardians and Thor.
Thor.
Yeah. But yeah, he's pretty much now that like perfectly nailed that role. And it's just funny to watch them interact with each other. It's funny how everybody's more or less enthralled with Thor, and how Thor kind of like gives them new nicknames, even though he's barely joined them and stuff like that. Calling Rocket a fucking rabbit, and Groot and the tree. It's like such a Thor thing too.
Here we go.
Like definitely such a Thor thing. Like, yeah, I don't really care about your names. I'm just gonna name you things, you know. Oh my god. Ah! Oh my god, there's so many of these fuckers. Go, go, go.
Garbage.
We can always hope that missions in 4 run better.
I'll never give up. Never!
Oh, is that a new survivor? Yep,
Yeah, looks
there
like
is. And that basically what leads to them exploring the history between Gamora and Thanos a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, we've kind of gotten this before.
Mm-hmm.
Is that all you got?
At least, yeah, up to this point anyway. Like, we already knew there was some sort of history between them coming from Guardians 1.
Thanks for saving me.
Obviously, that's expanded more a bit more with this particular movie.
Oh yeah, yeah. Big time.
Like, there is definitely more to it than we would have originally thought of, considering how poorly he treats Nebula.
That is weird.
Like, what just the unimportance of how he treats Nebula.
Yeah. Well, I mean, literal favoritism.
I don't know. We go. Yeah, they go over that. What is it? Thor suggests he might know a way to kill Thanos. I guess, right?
Yeah, that seems right.
He suggests that going to that place where the forge essentially.
The Forge, yeah.
Yeah. Which, I mean, you were talking about parts that you felt that didn't completely fit. I think that, to me, that's one of the parts that don't fit too well, is the forge. Well, not the actual forge or the part. It just, like, it felt like Peter Dinklage was a little off for some reason.
I think that was the point.
He was a
someone
little
right
off? Oh. That Peter Dinklage was a little off?
Yep.
Yeah, like,
I
I
mean,
get...
definitely weird. Now, here's the thing. I think this particular point, not necessarily the forge itself, but the forging of Stormbreaker.
Stormbreaker, yeah.
Beta Ray Bill.
Fade away, Bill, yeah.
Hey, Stormbreaker was his.
That is true. It is actually the same shape, isn't it? It's like more of a axe hammer.
Very similar, yeah.
It's just that it's not as big as what comes out of the forge.
Well, the thing is, it's also kind of incomplete because for whatever reason, Dinklebot forgot a fucking handle.
Yeah, that was a little strange. So, wait a
But hey,
minute.
there's Groot. Now,
Yeah, there's Groot.
I think this is important for multiple things. I think this is Groot.
Yeah.
I think this is maybe his survival, depending on how we want to play who
Yeah.
comes back out.
That is true.
For whatever reason, this bit of Groot survives.
A bit of Groot infused with like Thor's new hammer, I guess, right?
Yes.
Like how much
Well,
of
I mean,
Thor?
the simple fact is he picked it up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, without no problem. It burned, but because obviously it was fucking hot metal. But aside from that, he picked it up no problem
I don't think that was the weapon that did it. I think that was just because it was
because it was hot.
fresh right
Yeah.
out of the fucking forge. But he didn't seem to have a problem picking it up.
Not at all. Which I mean, I think that was fairly interesting and novel what they did with that, like having Groot give part of himself to make the hammer, essentially. Although the weird reasoning behind, oh, he didn't have the handle ready, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, that. But like I said, I think there's weight to that decision. That it's not random.
It could possibly mean something at some point. Or at least another way for them to further explore a movie or something with the Guardians or Thor and the Guardians, maybe.
Yeah, well, that definitely bridges a connection, a
Yeah.
more permanent connection.
Oh yeah. Well, because I mean, Ragnarok kind of proves that Thor is the most interesting as an intergalactic hopping alien god sort of thing basically.
Which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
Hey, another blueprint.
Who the hell are you and what the hell do you want?
Zombie Raker.
Listen, I'm looking for a girl called Annie. Is she around?
How do you know Annie? I could let you in if you do me a couple favors.
Why does everybody want favors around here? Jesus.
Like, what kind of favor?
Look, we had to abandon our other safe areas in a hurry. I left some important stuff behind. My tattoo kit.
Are you building something back there? Oh yeah, you sure are.
I left it at
What the fuck is that? Oh my god. It's a katana rake?
Yes, it is.
Jesus.
That's the deal. Tattoo kit from the school, ring.
Okay, lady, you got it here.
But yeah, the forge thing was cool. I didn't understand, well, because I mean, I'm not able to see it so clearly, but, so the part of the problem that Dinklage's character had was that he doesn't have his hands, right? Was that what was going on with it?
I mean, there's more to it than that, though, because clearly he was alone here.
So maybe he's a little off?
Yeah. Clearly
Like
he's been there for a while.
Yeah, because he makes it pretty clear that he had made the glove for a long while ago, and he's had the glove since when at this point?
Well, see, that's the thing. Time. Who knows?
Well, isn't
What
there
are
a
we supposed to be doing?
I don't know, going to that marker over there? So isn't there a scene in a movie that in one of the other movies where you see Thanos like putting on the glove?
I don't know about putting on the glove, but I know the glove is in
Odin's vault.
yeah, I think.
I could have sworn there
Yeah,
was
that's
a
right. That's well, I know that there's a bunch of stuff in the collector's museum or whatever you want to call it, in his vault.
yeah.
And yeah, I know there's also some stuff in Odin's little stash.
I just thought it was kind of strange. Like, well, did he have another mold of a gauntlet in his forge? I mean, Dinklage. He had the mold or something, right?
I think so, yeah.
I could have sworn there was an instance where you see the gauntlet there, or something that looks like the
Well,
gauntlet.
see, this is the thing with all these movies is the Easter eggs. Yeah, maybe the mold is there. Maybe it's something more, or maybe it's just an Easter egg. But you know, it's like, oh yeah, let's just. So, what if it was there? Does it actually matter? It's kind of an issue.
Well, I mean, it could possibly matter because the gauntlet at the end is pretty fucked up, right?
It definitely seems like it.
But is it the gauntlet? Is the gauntlet, not the gems necessarily, right?
Well, I don't think the gems can be destroyed necessarily.
Well, except that Scarlet Witch does destroy one of them, right?
Well, maybe.
Or is that debatable whether or not she actually destroyed it?
I think that's possibly debatable. When we look at like the Red Skull scene, he talks about the Tesseract denying him,
Yeah.
and I want to say this is also something in the comics that these aren't just stones; these things have some sort of consciousness.
It's interesting though because I didn't remember exactly what happened to Red Skull. But yeah, he disappeared into like the Tesseract's like energy discharge or something like that, right?
Yeah, it just.
Like evaporated him.
I
or
guess
something like
you could just write off that maybe it was disintegrated, but in reality it
that. It took him somewhere.
teleported him.
Yeah.
Now, as to why,
Yeah, that's the other big question on that one. Like
I
as
don't think there's
punishment?
an answer for that question.
It's supposed to be some sort of punishment, I imagine, that he's the position he's put in.
I guess.
Because he doesn't seem too happy about it. Obviously, it's not all the way explained, but yeah, it's definitely something that, if I were to guess, yeah, it was meant to be some sort of punishment for using the Tesseract for the way he did. But who
Yeah, and
put him
then
in that
being
position?
banned
Yeah.
ever, I guess, being able to wield them.
Hmm.
Ah, son of a bitch.
There's a bunch of zombies in there too.
Yeah, you could say that.
Oh goddamn! I fell. Oh, let's see. Ugh. Let's see. After the Forge, do they go back to um, Iron Man, Spider Man, and all that stuff? Now spotting Doctor Strange in his predicament. Is that where that goes to?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't recall exactly. Um, I think that. Well, I mean, we mentioned it earlier, but I thought that was that whole way they handled that was pretty novel. Like again, going back to how essentially Spidey is a fan of like older movies and such. Although they're not really that old, but he makes it sound like they're fucking ancient movies, basically.
These guys are hard.
Yeah, they take a lot of damage. Alright.
Weapons blueprint. Which I can't get for some reason. There we go.
Flaming sword.
Ola.
I can't. There you go. Go boots. What the fuck? It goes well with my outfit here.
Flaming sword, broadsword, and motor oil.
Oh, this is motor oil back here, I think. Oh, there's both things right here, actually. Okay. And I open the thing. Flaming sword.
Better luck next.
Did I make it?
Pathetic.
You gotta combine them in the RB menu.
Oh, okay.
You gotta like hold it down and then it'll bring up the combine thing.
Oop, what the fuck? You said RB?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see it now. Okay. Combo. Same sword.
Rock on.
Well, it's
There we go.
a light source. Yeah. The back to Ebony Maw's ship. Again, he seems more than capable of handling himself. He's not actually at all concerned with Iron Man being there. I feel like if they didn't actually
That's the thing. He never seems threatened.
concern. Ooh, what the fuck?
God damn.
Yeah, these things are not messing around. Yeah, he doesn't seem at all worried. It's only because they essentially trick him, I guess.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it really comes down to.
Yep. And it was
Although, to a degree, it's kind of beating him at his own game because He's always trying to play, it seems.
Hmm. Yeah, in this instance, well, he got played.
Yeah, literally.
But I guess a good reference to something not exactly brand new or nothing.
No. Very sad.
And then I think from there we jump back to the Guardians, I guess. After they argue a little bit as to how they what do they do next, and of course more banter between Iron Man and Doctor Strange about how he didn't necessarily need their help, but yeah, he was kind of fucked either way. But again, stressing the importance of not allowing the time gem to slip into Thanos' hands. Which again, I thought was kind of interesting because, like, at that point, he hasn't checked out the multiple timelines yet, right?
Okay, I'm not sure when that happens.
Yeah.
I'm not sure when I think that decision is made. I think.
I can't recall if he was already on Titan. If they were already on Titan. I think they were already on Titan, weren't they?
I believe so.
So maybe it is after they crash land, essentially, on Titan. But obviously, that whole thing, like, really, really, really gets paid off towards the end of the movie, essentially. Because I want to say that they're not intentionally, like, they don't make it very specific that he means, yeah, we can win. He just says there is a way, but he doesn't specify beyond that. Which I think pays off as a very interesting point, you know? Like, he's more concerned of
What
the...
it comes down to is what's the win gonna be.
Yeah. It's interesting that, I guess, if you take into consideration what happens by the end of it, and his last lines, that he knew what was going to happen, and his only concern was protecting the universe, essentially, right? Regardless of the cost. Which kind of goes back to what we're saying about his character growth in general, from his own movie, his own standalone to now.
Well, okay, what is the win going to be for him? What cost is too high?
Yeah.
Clearly, at the end of the movie, the cost for him, he doesn't really seem to care.
Yeah. Like, up to this point, does he know that they'll be brought back, or what's the thing? How much did he
He's
know?
seen something.
Yeah. How much does he know, and why doesn't he tell anybody anything? Because they wouldn't agree to go along with it. Like, guys, we gotta let him win, basically.
I think to a certain degree, that's a safe bet. Getting people to go along with it.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, the only way to win is to kill everybody.
I think from here, where do we go from here? We go to Cap, I guess. Banner finally getting in contact with Cap, and then all of a sudden, no, we go to Vision and Wanda, right? Because we don't actually see Cap until after that basically happens. Is that actually the first time we see him during the whole movie?
Possibly. Like I said, he doesn't make a monstrous impact.
Mm-mm. Like, the only impact we've had the only thing he has had any kind of impact with up to this point is when Iron Man happens to mention to Banner that they had a falling out, and his falling out was very severe with him. I think that's it, right?
Pretty much.
Let's see.
What is this queen bee thing?
Oh, it's like it causes like it becomes like an AOE. That you can throw into the big bunches of zomboids. There you go. Oh shit. Ooh, I think I got killed. Yep.
I got like almost no HP.
Think I'm trying to respawn? Yeah, I'm. Oh, wait. There we go. There we go. Where are we going here? Oop. He just kicked the window, man. He's supposed to jump in. um, we were. Oh yeah. Okay. So off to wherever Wanda and Vision are. Like I don't know how important this whole part is as far as like, okay, there's a pre-existing relationship between the two of them. I guess at most it was hinted at, but not really full blown at this point. There's somebody right there.
Now, I guess I'm kind of unsure just how much they've shown of it. I mean, because we know it's definitely a thing.
Yeah, I mean it was a thing, but in Civil War. Because I could have sworn in Civil War they actually do kind of like hint at this, and that's why Vision is more or less kind of like watching her, or like he volunteers to watch her basically, while she's under like house arrest, more or less. If I remember correctly, anyway.
Hey, this is like a dude. He's not a zombie.
Dude, right? I mean, it was interesting as in a way just to bring in Proxima Midnight and Corvus Glaive, but then they get almost right away overpowered by Cap and Black Widow. I mean, Cap I can sort of almost understand, but fucking Proxima Midnight's supposed to be like the most powerful martial of them, a martial fighter out of all of them, and she gets like more or less like pwned. Yeah, one shot. And Corvus Glaive is not supposed to be such a pushover either, because at least going from these guys are actual people here. Oh god damn.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. They're actually.
Oh okay. I was like trying to get to that girl that was up there. Like what was I say? The only time. Well, actually, from the comic books, they're all extremely powerful. Like, it's Proxima Midnight with her spear that like take out the Hulk in that one Infinity War specific story.
No, they're incredibly threatening.
In this instance, they were.
In the end, I think it was more about time.
Yeah.
Because if we give them all the same strength as what they should be, they're basically on par with like an underpowered Thanos to it.
Yeah.
You know, we're already at like a 3-hour movie basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it would be too long, and the power creep would have to become extremely serious at this point.
Yeah, and I don't think there's really any room for it. So, I mean, to a degree, we give them like some mini threats.
Yeah, mini threats and like, there's a blueprint up here. mini threats plus not just faceless
Defiler.
filer, not just faceless minions,
Sledgehammer and the fire.
not just faceless minions for them to mow through like they do at the end later on in the movie essentially. Although I thought the Outriders are pretty kind of a cool looking like Zerg sort of enemy to fight.
Yeah, that kind of fit.
Hmm.
Just this big, just really frightening force.
Yeah, because they had
And
no
very Zerg.
yeah,
I think you're right there.
and they had no sense of self-preservation, which made them even worse as far as like a true
Yeah,
threatening
they were
force.
just a wall. Just a wall to be thrown out.
Yep. I mean, it goes with what Proxima says when they actually get to that part, where I mean, they have plenty of blood to spare, like as far as in reference to the threat that the only blood that will be spilled is theirs, which I think was a pretty cool way to do it. What else? But I mean, from the scene with Vision getting like more or less mauled. Well, I guess that's the only time they feel like actually powerful. Corvus Glaive and Proxima Midnight. They more than easily are able to overpower Vision, and Vision is extremely powerful.
Okay, the whole stuff with Vision, especially toward the end, it's like there's something wrong with him.
Yeah, he's not fighting at his full capacity.
And we're gonna make millions.
Well, that's true. He does make reference to the fact that the gem is like talking to him, right? Or like something to him.
Something, yeah.
Yeah.
There's
So
something
maybe
going on there.
maybe he wasn't at full power then.
Got it. Blonde, redhead, Asian, Latino. As long as they're dead and they're hot. The wilder, the better. Heck,
I'll
I'm
kill
dead
this guy already.
time
I know, right?
Yeah. What the fuck?
Let's see where. What the fuck? Okay, no, what the fuck? Flare gun. That's what you get.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So, like, they overpower. Fuck, tragic ending found.
Tragic ending. Oh.
Oh. Oh. I really don't like how it's the massager that's over there at the end. What the? What did she do to herself? What from there? Where the hell did it transition to? Like to Avengers HQ, I guess. No, it goes somewhere else. I can't remember exactly where they go. Oh no, it's back to the Guardians, following Thanos to nowhere, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's really interesting because like the Red Letter Media dude said, there's a lot of plot lines going on, but they don't feel like it's too much or like they're balanced out pretty well. Because there's definitely
So-
more than one group going on.
Since we're at nowhere, what exactly has happened here?
Like Thanos has already taken the reality gem.
Okay, was he given it or did he take it? Is the collector dead?
I don't know actually. The collector isn't he just seen in one of his own little those
We
little
only
glass
see
things?
the illusion from the gem.
Oh, okay. He was already in that little thing, right?
Yeah. So is he dead?
I you keep breaking the windows. Possibly?
I'm afraid to roll him down. This is the only safe way.
No, wait. No, actually, isn't the illusion him standing on the collector?
Yeah, that's the illusion though. We never see him.
No, don't we see him like in one of the little glass cells that he has in his menagerie?
Is he in there?
Yeah, I could have sworn you see him there, but he's like gibbering like a madman in there. At least I could have sworn that's what I saw. Yeah. I mean, I could be wrong, but I could have sworn that's what we saw. What the hell? And that's when obviously he takes Gamora at that point, but because he essentially laid a trap for them, right?
Yeah, that whole thing was a trap.
Yeah. Which again kind of just gives more credence to the fact that, well, Thanos is easily the most dangerous and most capable villain they've ever run across. Not just like overpowered, but rather extremely intelligent to an extreme.
Well, the real question that I guess we'll have to wait to really see the payoff for is he's got some reasoning going on here. So is his reasoning his own?
Yeah, we don't know that. We don't know for certain that he himself isn't being played, I guess. Somehow.
Bring back memories. Sweet bad one. That's crap.
Although I want to say, I would say that I'd rather not have him being played by anybody in this. This is just his machinations, and essentially.
Well, I don't necessarily mean being played by anybody, but let's say someone put a goal up for him. Like he needed to attain something.
But were the ends basically him doing what he did, or is there
Yes.
more than that?
Well, I think there's gonna be more than that, and I think that's what's gonna make it interesting, or more interesting than it already is.
Yeah, because it's already interesting to begin with. I mean, he sets out this insane fucking goal, and he has legitimate reasons from his own personal experiences, I guess you want to call it.
Well, seemingly so.
But even though his reasoning is sound, his method is beyond the pall, I guess you want to call it. I don't know.
Well, essentially, what he's trying to correct is overpopulation. And
On
instead
a
of going
universal scale?
China with your one-child policy, he's like, let's just kill everybody.
It's so much easier, guys. So has he become death himself?
Maybe? No.
Car's about to blow up. Can't figure out how to get to where we're going right here.
Yeah, there seems to be something going on, but I can't tell if it's just because the way we're going is, or if there's actually some kind of gate.
Yeah.
Although I seem to remember this area being a problem before.
Yeah. So was it like right after he takes Gamora? What was kind of interesting was how he used the reality gem to like disassemble Drax and Rocket? No, not Rocket. What am I? He's not there. Drax and and Mantis, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like he literally like has them cubed, which is fucking a really interesting visual to that. Well, I guess what was super interesting too was like you sort of see it before this happens, where Gamora has Peter promised to kill her if it comes to this, and
Yeah,
he more or less
there's a few
follows
things
through.
about that.
Like he follows through, but Thanos manipulates reality and causes like bubbles to come out of his blaster, right?
Yeah, I guess yeah, he does try. Well, the problem with that is she seems to think that she's the key, but she doesn't realize why.
Mm-hmm.
I found them
Like
both. Now,
like
Wow,
whenever what
did it?
happens happens.
Just push them over here so I can check them out.
Shorts. Like she starts laughing about it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
You know, they're on
Yeah, she's up in the comm tower somewhere. Go on and have a
they're
look.
on that rock face,
Yeah, she's up in
and
the comm tower somewhere. Go on and have a look.
Red Skull, you know, flat out says, "Oh yeah, you have to sacrifice someone," and she literally laughs.
Well, isn't the line specifically that like something that he loves essentially,
Yes,
and that's why she laughs because
and she
she
laughs
thinks
because yeah, she thinks that he's incapable.
yeah, but that's the complete opposite of it. It's the fact that he's more than capable, but he has the resolve to see it all the way through.
But
I mean,
why? That's the thing.
yeah. What is the end game? Is it just because he really sees the universe through those like
I like how it's zooming in on your feet.
yeah? Is it really just a matter of him so focused on his one particular goal and the only solution according to him, and that's it, or is there more to it? Because I mean, I hate to skip so far ahead, but when he does get there, that again that scene that we now assume is inside the Soul Stone, is
Mm-hmm.
he then speaking to just little to Gamora's soul or whatever is left of Gamora? He
Well,
sees
this
as a
is
little
part of the
girl.
problem. You know, is that her? Is that the sacrifice? Is that the soul gem itself? Since we can assume that they are sentient to some degree,
Hmm.
or is this something else?
Yeah, so hard to say. But didn't he use? Didn't Thanos use that same trick on more than just Peter? The whole bubbles thing? Because I could have sworn we saw that same effect again, but I can't remember who he uses it on. I can't remember if it was against Peter or not. But either way, I thought that was kind of interesting
I
as far
want to
as
say
like,
it happens in that big final showdown on Titan.
yeah, that's probably what it is. But I thought it was interesting that you didn't think it was. I didn't think that Peter was actually going to be able to see it through as far as like to fulfill his part of the promise. But sure enough, he does. He attempts to anyway. Thanos,
He does
stops
attempt
him.
to.
Yeah, Thanos stops him. But what's kind of interesting is that after he does try, Thanos says that he likes him now because he showed the resolve to actually follow through.
Well, that's kind of the like running thing. Is
Is just
as
he,
as he's dealing with each of these people,
Try not to let those stupid
he's
cameras see you or an
almost
alarm might go off.
respecting them.
And you know
Mhm.
how zombies feel about noise.
damn, I got a Woody.
well, yeah. I mean, we see that a couple of times. What the hell is that? Oh, never mind. I thought you had something else right there. It's definitely something that we see more than a couple times, as far as like he seems to both be insane and cruel, but also kind.
Thanks for the help.
To a
before.
degree, yeah.
Because I mean, we see it in the flashback when he initially gets Gamora, and we've talked about this on our own. But like the strange aspect of him ordering his forces to attack and wholesale slaughter half the population. But when he sees little Gamora, who's like, for whatever reason, gets his attention, and his affection, I guess. He kind of protects her from the ugly side of it all, of watching these people being like killed outright.
Well, I think it goes. You're gonna have to take that what you just said back. Is he actually insane? Is he actually?
See, I don't think he's actually insane. I think his reasoning is sound to him. That doesn't necessarily mean that he's insane or that he's wrong. It's just that he's justified it completely to himself.
Is this like a Ducat thing?
I think so.
Where he sees himself as the hero of his own story.
I think exactly what it is. I think he doesn't see himself
he's
as the bad guy.
rationalized whatever this is that his end game is the only way to be the hero.
Yeah. That he's the only one with the capability, the resolve, and the dedication to actually do it and save the universe
To do the
in
thing.
the long run. Yep.
That he's decided must be done. God, fucking alarm.
Yeah. I mean, the comparison to Ducat's actually a pretty good comparison, honestly, because it's I think it's apt. It's very close and it actually works, the comparison. He never once assumed that he was doing anything wrong, and I don't think Thanos thinks he's doing anything wrong. He's doing the necessary. I mean, I think he would even go as far as to say that the necessary evil to save the universe. Because again, going back to his response to what we assume is Gamora and the Soul Stone, when he simply asked, did he do it and what did it cost him, and when he says literally everything, and he doesn't look happy when he says that, is the fact that he knew that it would cost him so much, but it had to be done. And again, it just speaks to his ability to bear that for the good of everything else, even though what he's doing is still monstrous.
Damn it.
Yeah, I can't climb over there. At least that's how I read that whole thing. Like,
Yeah. But still, at the end, he's exactly where he said
yeah,
he would be. He's gonna take care of this, and then he's gonna go sit on the beach,
and smile.
and he does.
And he does, yeah. I think it's just the satisfaction to him that he was able to complete his long-term goal. I don't know if I don't know if he actually gets any pleasure out of killing half the fucking universe. But it's just the pleasure of actually finally getting to that goal he set for himself. I'm not trying to make it be like a Thanos apologist, but he more or less did what he set out, and that's why he's happy, not because he killed all those people.
So
More
what
the-
you're saying is Thanos didn't do nothing wrong.
Essentially, Thanos didn't do anything wrong.
Is this the failure plan? Because
I mean, it's possible. I don't know.
did you watch the Kumite today?
No, I didn't. I work with some cuckoo people, basically. What was it? What was it today?
Well, they had I don't know, two retards that were arguing Trump stuff,
Okay.
and afterwards they were talking about or arguing the point of Trump's wall.
Mm.
And failure's like, that's not going to work. What we need to do is we need to get the army, and we need to invade Mexico all the way down to, like, I don't know, halfway across the country.
Mm-hmm.
That way there's less land to build a wall across, and it'll be cheaper that way.
Okay.
That way we can reduce the cost of the wall by invading and taking over Mexico.
Which would cost an enormous amount of money and
That's
life.
a different
Well,
budget. That doesn't count. That's
yeah, that's A lot
And
of
he
forethought
actually
he
brought
went
up
to.
Google Maps and started like drawing lines. Like, here, this is all we gotta do.
It's hilarious.
And that's 3.
Yep. Um. Where did we leave off exactly? We're talking about because we kept skipping toward the end to specifically
Yeah,
mention
we
that.
kind of jumped.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was him taking Gamora, him going back on his ship, right? And they're at their throne room or something like that. And how he even mentions that he had hoped to see her sit on that throne at some point.
Oh,
I
I
thought it
didn't
was,
catch that line.
oh yeah, he definitely says that when he's in. I'll timestamp it. Well, I'll check out what exactly when it happens, and I'll tell you where. But he actually says that, and then with disgust, she just like she says something in retort, but essentially that's what he said. Like he had hoped that she would either continue the work or be the one sitting on the throne, which is kind of interesting because then it just reinforces the idea that his
Hey, oh, what do we get here?
nice bike.
Wait, we got vehicle blueprints.
Oh, mini bike. Well, I think if that's the line, it kind of reinforces the idea that Gamora does in fact mean a lot to him, essentially. Which I mean, obviously explains why he's able to get the Soul Stone. Anyway. What is that, nail gun?
Okay, how do we merge vehicles again?
Not sure. Do you have the match right there?
It's supposed to be these 2 bikes from what I could tell.
You just hold the RB and then between them, and it comes up. I'm doing it now. Yeah, there you go. How the hell does that become that? It's like we took the least most impressive parts of of bikes and put them together. It's loud.
There's a
At least.
place for me on. Oh wait.
Yeah, look at that. Oh my god. Yeah, that was great right here. It's somehow slower than I assume either of those bikes were.
I don't think we're gonna make it.
Yeah, I don't think so. Oh,
Nope.
oh shit. That's as fast as it goes. God damn. Yeah, but they have that interesting dialogue, and I think it jumps back at that point to Cap arriving at Avengers HQ with Rhodey having a meeting with General Ross.
Ah, the Ross scene. I thought that was really interesting.
Oh yeah,
Oh, that hurt.
yeah, it sure did. It was interesting because it's like it sets a couple of things. It makes it sound like they've been on the run for 2 years at least.
It's definitely a while.
Yeah. I think I hear them specifically say 2 years. Which is kind of strange because I didn't think it was that long of a time since Civil War. But evidently it has.
Uh-oh. It probably is. I'm not sure actually.
Oh. Okay, there's a speed boost to this. Ow. Goddamn fucking zombies. Oh shit, I'm dead. Yeah, they go into that. All they really accomplish is convince Rhodey to come with them, I guess, or like to join up and not arrest him.
I think so.
Yeah, I think that's all they really accomplished with that, because they're on the run, and then from there they realize the only place they can go is to Wakanda to hide Vision, essentially.
Yeah, that's when that decision is made.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it's not an entirely bad decision, but I guess they didn't suspect or they didn't understand the threat to be as deadly as it was.
See, this is the kind of thing I'm not sure. It's like they seem to know what's going on, but then... Okay, that's kind of great there. No, they kind of seem to understand the size of the threat, but at the same time, they are so underprepared.
Mm-hmm. Literally, all they
I
had
don't know
was.
if that's like the plot device that they're going for. There's something right there.
There you go. Here, good thing there was those fucking barrels right there to stop us. Oh god.
We passed to something back there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I have to abandon this.
Yeah, it seems unwell.
Yeah, and I think at this point, what we're jumping back and forth from where actually, Wakanda and Titan at this point,
Yeah.
because at this point the Guardians are also now headed to Titan, I guess. Now that Gamora's gone, and we start getting the initial attack, I guess, on Wakanda. Unless I'm missing something, which I mean it's possible I'm missing something.
No, this is basically when things start.
Like picking up as far as the final stuff happening. Okay, I'm not sure where we go from here.
Oh, he's still talking.
Oh, yeah. And obviously, this is where we kind of see the full force that Thanos controls. Because I want to say, it's kind of weird. I want to say that in the flashback when he's taking Gamora, we see Chitauri, right?
I want to say yes.
I could have sworn I saw some Leviathans that the Chitauri have. Big flying Leviathans things that we see from Avengers 1. I could have sworn we saw a couple of
Yeah,
those.
it kind of seems that way.
At the same time, there seems to be Outriders as well. So I'm assuming that maybe the Outriders are only part of his army to go along with the Chitauri.
But the Dominion is a big force.
Yeah. Oh shit! He pulled me out of my. Oh shit! Almost pulled me out of the car.
I mean, I'm assuming it works the same way because the Dominion grows their own force by taking over.
Yeah, it might be what it is. His armies expand as the more he conquers, and they become his followers, I guess.
More or less, yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, shit! What the hell is that? Yeah, we see the full force he's willing to commit to attacking Wakanda. I think they have a little meeting first, right? The Corvus Glaive and Proxima Midnight with the Avengers out in the field. And when more or less you see the posturing, I think from Black Widow and mostly Black Widow, but not Cap. About the only people they should leave. Oh no, actually it's Black Panther. They need to leave because otherwise it'll just cost them their blood or something like that. And that's where Proxima is like talking about how that they have blood to spare or something like that, and that's when they call out the Outriders.
Yeah, that's when that whole force comes in.
And obviously, also before this all happens, we get the funny scene between Shuri and Banner and the rest as to their initial design of Vision. I didn't really think about it in the sense that, well, they're the ones that completely designed Vision's like his brain, I guess. I don't know. Weapons blueprint. Oh. Bomb. Because she made it sound like they made conscious decisions of how his brain would look or would work, I
I
guess.
didn't realize that was the case at all.
I thought the mind gem infused into the vibranium body made Vision what he was.
Yeah, it was the gem itself that I don't know. I guess was part of the design.
Because the way Shuri phrases it, it's they designed it that way, and that's why there's a problem.
If that's the case, that's gonna make backing him up even more difficult.
Yeah, it's a man-made thing, so she can make a copy of it and probably improve on it as well. Yeah, and they definitely have enough vibranium to spare to repair Vision's body. I guess it just depends what's left of Wakanda after the fight. Because they actually take quite the beating. Not counting what happens at the end anyway. And as we transition between Wakanda and Titan, it's only after... Oh yeah, we didn't really get to the part where essentially we find out how he gets the Soul Stone. And it's essentially Thanos sacrificing Gamora, who we find out he does in fact have actual genuine, I guess, parental love for her. Which is kind of...
Yeah, well, it's not so much does he love her enough to sacrifice her. It's more about, well, at least I guess from her point of view it is, but from his point of view, it's about what he's willing to do to complete the job.
Yep. And that's why it's the tears and everything else, which when you said it yourself, how odd that scene was. Like, to see Thanos like literally in tears was very weird and jarring. I think the moment is definitely that, but once you see the rest of it and you see how it ends and you see his reaction to possible Soul Stone Gamora, then you sort of understand why he's like that, where he's all shattered essentially, like with the realization that what he has to do next is sacrifice his, not just his favorite daughter, but more or less his daughter essentially, because he doesn't treat Nebula like that at all.
Well, see, that's another big thing. Just why Gamora? Why is she such a focus when obviously I don't know, that alone has caused issue.
Well, the only thing I could think of is that when he first runs into Gamora, unlike everybody else on that planet, she isn't like shattered and broken and crying or anything. She's just looking for her mom, but like still being fairly well put together emotionally. She's worried, obviously, but she's not like scared, I guess. And I think that impresses him because it shows like a kind of inner strength, I guess, of character, that she's a fighter. I mean, I think he even says that, right? That she's a fighter. Yeah. That instead of being afraid of everything that's going on, all she's really concerned with is trying to find her mother. Even though she sees a bunch of like more or less monsters taking these people, and who knows what else they've been doing up to this point. So maybe he identifies a little bit with her as far as her willingness to keep it together and her strength of personality. And maybe that's why he treats her so much differently than the rest of his children, because I mean they are referenced to as his children, right?
Yes.
The Order. Oh shit! What the fuck just shot me up? Those two guys up there just fucking murdered me.
Oh, they're all like heavily armored. And
Yep.
shit.
I'm not sure fisticuffs is gonna be enough. Um, but yeah, I guess once he sacrifices Gamora, that's when he goes back to Titan, right? Because he's gonna try to get the time gem at this point. While the attack on Wakanda's happening, which maybe he's hoping that the guard are able to take out Wakanda and actually complete their job for once. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, not just oh, we're gonna try. God
Crap!
damn.
I just realized how late it is.
Oh yeah, we're not even through the movie. Well, we can continue this tomorrow either way. Yeah, because it is kind of late.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So we will continue our spoilery review and thoughts on this movie. Probably not in such a buggy game as this tonight. Because I literally have to mute the game for us to me be able to hear like the conversation back and forth. Because it's just bad. Like it's just too loud. Even though it's like it's low, the volume is low sometimes, and it spikes back up for some reason. I'm not sure why. But yeah, either way, we will continue this tomorrow.
Yep.
All right. Either way, I will talk to you later.
All right, thanks.